I thought it would be fun to make a documentary about a film crew making a documentary. So, follow along, because this is the biggest project we've ever done as a company. It's definitely the biggest documentary that I've ever dealt with. We're in a meeting right now, and we're going through essentially storyline A, which is a lot easier, but we've kind of thought that it'd be good to have storyline A and storyline B, and they intertwine together. A is history, B is like the now, real life, what's going on. And so we're just trying to figure out creative ways to begin planning that.
So, like what you need from them.
Okay.
And you can shoot that to me, and I'll share it with Janet and tell her, I'll kind of fill her in on, you don't have to, I'll tell her kind of
what the project is and stuff like that.
Just,
who it's for.
And,
so do you want me to spell out the exact shot we need? It'd be pretty simple. It would just be very powerful, and it would honestly be the final shot of the documentary, which would be really, really cool and really impactful.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, man.
All right, bud.
Bye. I was on the phone with NASA. We might have might be getting some shots done for us from space. How cool would that be?
We've got the PDF. So what all do we need to finish? Or what all do we need to go through? Like, what do you want to see to finish out the PDF before we get to him?
Oh, that's a question for me.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright, so tell us what you're doing.
Alright, so for the Bicentennial Park artwork documentary project, what we're doing is we are creating a massive PDF that's filled with location information, each of the panels that are going to be featured at the Bicentennial Park. We're getting historical information and contacts for each of them so that we can go to each of the spots represented in each of the panels and basically get permission to film at each spot so that we can start building the story.
We are creating a documentary about an artist that is creating 16 different panels of art that tell the history of the state of Alabama from essentially the beginning of time to the present and future. So it's what's going on in the present, but it's also a panel that's looking to the future. So panel 1, beginning of time as we know it, to the future.
But this PDF, it goes on to, contacts, shooting locations, organized, and then just descriptions about each panel for us as reference. So it's pretty hefty. Right now, we're at 26 pages and we're just getting started as far as gathering information so that we can do this the best that we can. What it's doing is just maximizing our time because we're going to have to go from Montgomery, Mobile, Selma, Huntsville, a lot in Huntsville and Mobile, and surrounding areas. So we're trying to really streamline that so we don't waste time and we can tackle this giant thing before the deadline, which is not too far down the road.
This is a documentary that has to be told. A lot of stories from, what's today? August 15th to December 12th. So that's not a lot of time. We just got hired for this doc last week. This is our artist, so this is his story, and what he's doing is essentially storyline B. That doesn't mean that it's not as important as A. We're just calling, there's two storylines. They're both equally important. Storyline A, storyline B. So the artist is storyline B, because that is really the harder of the two. Storyline A is a bunch of historical facts and locations that the history has already been written. We already know about it. We just have to go and do it. So that's not that hard. Storyline B is the one where we really don't have any idea what's gonna come out of this. Looking at each of the panels, we know most of the locations that we need to film to tell the history behind those. We have a meeting later today with the artist about where did the inspiration come from these. We'll get him to speak about that a little bit. And that starts to fill in storyline B. So, and we just make all those work. And we talk about why is the place that they're being put, it's called the Bicentennial Park. Like, why is the park being built? Why is Alabama invested in art and invested in preserving our history and learning from our mistakes? So that's kind of where we are right now. Have you been able to get in touch? Who have you talked to? Who are we waiting on? So
we're waiting on the Smithsonian to get back with us. We've already submitted for permission to film, and we're just waiting for their approval.
Okay.
So they're done.
And then what about
now.
And what about Moundville?
We have a connection. They are overseen by the University of Alabama, but they put us in contact with Dr. Alex Benitez, and I reached out to him to get permission to film there, and we're waiting to hear back from him now.
Did you email him?
Mm-hmm.
When did you email him?
Yesterday.
Okay.
The day before yesterday.
All right. We might just want to call. Very little communication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're in the planning phase still. We've got all these locations that we need to get in touch with all these people. And almost none of them have responded to the emails yet, which is we figured would happen. So now we're just kind of figuring out who we need to tackle first and just start calling them. And, they're the ones that grant permission for this kind of thing, but we know that they stay super busy. So if we can just call them and get them on the phone, maybe that'll expedite them looking at our requests, because we have a deadline to get this stuff done.
Example, the trick in the Mobile area is that we need to get a permit. But to get a permit, we have to be approved by each place. So we were sent to the Alabama Historical Society to contact the people from each place so that we could find out the days that we can shoot. And then once we figure out those days, only then can they request the permit. So it's like all of them have to click. And we have to have the right locations and dates, names, and everything before we can get a permit. So it's like it all has to click to work. So it's interesting.
So with
process.
Mobile, so that means we need 4 different places in Mobile have to approve to then get the permit to then request dates.
Yes. But they're very, very nice folks, and they're accommodating, and they know that it's a bit of a hassle, but they appreciate us going to the right channels. They kept encouraging that, like, we know it's hard, and it's, that's something we hear all the time, it's difficult, and people would rather not do the right thing, but they were encouraging us, like, don't, just go through the channels, it'll take some time, but you'll be covered then, and everyone will be okay. So they were encouraging, because they have a constant problem with people just filming whatever they want all the time everywhere, and people getting everyone's way and stuff. So
we're doing it the right way.
Trying to, yes.
Because
no, we are doing it the right way.
We are doing it the right way,
Yes.
because we know that this doc has the potential of being bigger than just online. Rolling.
Today on how to catch a predator.
Are you rolling? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we've met with the artist once. This is our second meeting, but basically we're going to present to him the concept for the storylines and how they're all going to intertwine and mix. That's what we were meeting about earlier. So this is his studio that you're about to see. Caleb O'Connor, world-renowned artist. And
That's a nice tree.
Tree Scott.
That's a really nice tree.
fine. I mean, we can just chill for. I mean, he's on his way. So when filming documentaries, you do a lot of hurry up and wait. You chill, and then when things get here, you start going quickly. Ding! He said I'm in my gym clothes. Like, I guess he doesn't want to film in that, and I'm like, this is a documentary, bro. I don't care what you're wearing. Just show up, because it's gonna be compiled. Lots of shots. So the way that we ended up getting this documentary was actually we made a couple just mini docs on our own, just basically for fun. But we used those to pitch the idea to the local arts council. And they got us in touch with Caleb, who owns O'Connor Art Studio. And the initial idea was to just do a video on Caleb as an artist and kind of what he has going on right now for the city of Tuscaloosa for the Arts Council. And then it ended up the Alabama Bicentennial Commission caught wind of it, found out about it, and they said, well, we would love a documentary about the artist and about the park that's being built and some of the stuff that he's doing for them. And so that is how this came to be. So it kind of blew up a little bit bigger than we expected. So we're super thankful and grateful that happened. But that just goes to show you, it's like one day you're filming something for fun, and then you're actually getting to get a job, getting a documentary gig out of that.
He's got the big dog.
The big dog.
So I think he wants me to let you guys in first.
Oh, okay. That is a big dog.
It's a big dog.
You like dogs?
Pretend like we're not here.
I get pretty zoned in. It's not like watching the grass grow for me.
Over. I switched with Scott because that camera was really heavy.
It's a delicate touch.
Day 2, some gear. Got the C200 in the red. We're gonna do a time lapse with the C200. Get a little bit more interview type questions with the red. Time lapse with the GoPro. So this time lapse is going to be rolling for quite a while. So we're just going to plug her into the wall here.
You guys need extension cords, or when there's that, and I can get you another.
Oh yeah, that should be enough.
Okay. Not there.
Not there's power right here.
Yeah, there should be a power right here as well. Oh, there's one right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have to get a little bit closer. If I can just pull
Or else
this.
there's this too, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can just pull it a little bit
Yeah.
over here, then it should work. Let me see how the macro does. The 105.
Good sleep finally. A while.
rest is important. Yeah, I'll still have to back up some. Realistically, man, like something like that.
That's what I was envisioning.
Yeah. That's probably what we need then.
Because it's a little bit less across
Right.
with his movement.
Time lapses. Master packing right there.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible how much stuff is actually on there that you don't see. Hi, Gavin.
Hello.
Getting ready to set up for the main A-roll for the dock. So we were trying our best to match this panel and this Fresnel here, but it's just not, we're not getting the color to match, so we're gonna, and really the look I wanted anyway was that Fresnel through this diffusion. He's gonna be sitting here, so we're actually gonna use the panel over there for our rim light. So, yeah, I think that's gonna be better anyway.